Mostly sunny, falling temperatures, a high of 42. Tonight, increasing clouds, early morning rain-snow mix, a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
They are calling it the game of the year. Miami versus Ole Miss last night in the Fiesta Bowl for a chance to play in the national championship. And man, it was a good game. If you like offense, if you like drama, if you like back and forth. And I got to be honest, after the game, Miami goes on to win. They will play in the national championship game. Not next Monday, but the following Monday. I've been saying all along, Gabe, that the Indiana storyline, right? Losing his program in FBS history up until this year with that win over Penn State, is the best story in college football. Mm-hmm. We got a little pushback from people who said, oh my goodness, no. What Ole Miss has endured, the drama from Lane Kiffin, the way they've responded, Golding, etc. That's the best story in college football.
I mean, there's some short and fodder in there too, right? Like, I don't like Lane. I've never liked the way Lane has conducted his business. So there was a part of me that, yeah, there's some short and fodder there. Oh, you went to LSU because you don't think you can win a national championship at Ole Miss. So Ole Miss winning a national championship without you would be, so sweet. So sweet.
But did I ignore the Carson Beck, Miami, potentially going back to Miami did I ignore that as a storyline in college football, Chew? Should I have been giving that more consideration as, oh man, this kid went through the ringer. This kid, they didn't want him. He had to leave Georgia. And then, of course, the injury and the recovery and the drama that went down at Miami. And now here he is with his team on the doorstep of a national championship. Did I accidentally ignore that storyline as one of the best in college football?
You did, but I can't stand Miami. And it goes back to when I played them. And actually, the last year I played them in '92, I think they were national champs that year. Cristobal was on that team. And I'll never forget, it was at Boston College, huge letdown game for Miami, last game of the year. And I was the only, because it was my last game, I was the only senior that went out for the coin toss. And those arrogant b-holes wouldn't shake my hand. And I'm like, you know.
Let's go shake their hands.
Really?
It's
Why?
on.
Why do you think that is?
Because that's the way they were.
Because,
you know.
Because Boston, at that point, especially at that point, Boston College is so far below Miami.
Easy.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what they were.
We almost went 500. Get off my back.
How did that game go for you?
So, if you go back, this is just what Miami does. Because I was watching, I think, the 30-30 of when they were playing Oklahoma in Boz.
Yeah, sure.
And they wouldn't shake their hands, and the referees were going to penalize them for not doing it. I don't like anything about Miami, so I don't want them to win. But it is kind of cool that they have the opportunity to play in their own stadium, kind of like Tampa Bay did when Brady and company won the Super Bowl.
Ole Miss had an opportunity late. You probably saw highlights this morning that they had a Hail Mary opportunity to go ahead in the game. And there are some questions right now, guys, about whether or not there was a pass interference call on that last Hail Mary play. Should they have called it in the end zone? Now, Bill Lamagna, who is the rules official for ESPN,
had a
said,
rough night last night.
Bill did?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
With all the targeting stuff.
Oh, well, I want to talk about that. Hold on. Let's get to the Hail Mary, and then I want to get to the targeting because I'm very curious about what you guys think about that as well. So, the Hail Mary at the end of the game, I think if you're watching the game, it would have been pass interference on any other play.
Correct.
But Bill Lamagna's point is, on a Hail Mary, they are going to very rarely make that call as long as it's mutual combat. Did you see mutual combat on the? Are they showing it right now? Yeah,
Look,
they just showed it on Get Up on the televisions above us. Did you see mutual combat on that play?
I feel like as a society, we have all decided on Hail Marys. Like, unless it's targeting or just unless you get tackled, like somebody is around your waist holding you down or tackles you in the middle of the air, like Hail Marys are just a free-for-all. Like, I feel like as a football-watching society, as anybody who coaches it, anybody who plays it, anybody who watches it, we've all come to the understanding that Hail Marys at the end of the game, like, it has to be the most egregious thing you've ever seen in order for any penalty flag to fly in the scrum of the Hail Mary.
Chewy, do you agree with that, though? Let's just say that is the standard operating procedure from the officials, that on a Hail Mary, they're going to let bygones be bygones and figure out who comes up with the ball. Do you agree with that? Because I can make the argument that that's the most important play of the game.
And this, I disagree with Gabe when it comes to basketball too, because what was the game? I think it was Auburn. Remember they were playing
Virginia.
They were in the Final Four.
Virginia in the 20.
And they made the call.
Four. Yeah.
I'm a proponent of don't make that call unless it's absolutely egregious to determine the end of the game. And I think I would not have thrown the flag in this situation. I just wouldn't have. I think the rules kind of change a little bit when
you're saying you agree with
the play determines the outcome of the game.
So you agree with
No,
me.
but in basketball, you disagree with me, Gabe, right?
Yeah, and because in basketball, like if you're one-on-one and you foul someone on the arm, you foul them on the arm. Like a jump shot, like.
But Gabe, that wasn't the foul in that situation. It was you weren't giving the player an opportunity to come down. I think that was the issue.
Okay, then I'm thinking of a different one, because the Virginia one that I'm thinking about, like the guy got hit on the wrist as he tried to shoot a three. And everybody was up in arms about that one.
Yeah. But pass interference is just like it's a scrum.
Yeah.
Unless you're absolutely tackling the dude.
Yeah, but like if you come flying
then
in
you throw the flag.
with a targeting call, like it has to be be a personal foul type
or
of
to your
penalty.
point, like a tackle, like a full-blown bear hug, tackle to the ground.
Like,
throw the flag,
all
pass
right,
interference.
you guys are forcing us to throw the flag.
But if it's just sort of that spacing thing, right, where you're just trying to get space, so you throw an arm out there on the last play of the game, that's what they're saying. There's a part of me that also thinks that, though, if they had called pass interference on that, then Ole Miss has another shot at the end zone. It would have been an untimed play. Yeah. And maybe we are talking about Ole Miss in the national championship. And that's where I get a little uncomfortable of, like, you know, they talk about it being a game of inches. They talk about any given Sunday/Saturday in this case. I don't know if I want it to come down to one play like that, where in any other circumstance, in any other situation, at any other moment of the game, you would have called it differently. That doesn't sit well with me.
But the call is not as penal
but you're
in
also
college
not
football
that...
as it is in the pros, because it's only 15 yards, so they were at the, 45?
Yeah, you're getting it around the 30 or something like that. So it's another it's another really tough play, almost even harder to score.
Oh, you're saying it's the tighter windows and all that.
But also, like, you're also not throwing that ball in any other situation, Jen, because he's covered, right? So
you're saying in any other situation you'd find something else, or you'd live to play another down.
Correct. So now you're just heaving it up there because you have to.
800-990-3776. If you saw the end of the game last night, did you think they should have called pass interference again? Bill Lamagna, who is the rules official for ESPN, says what we have there is called mutual combat. Both players are getting their hands on each other. We're going to leave that alone 99% of the time. I want to see one of them get a true advantage in order to call pass interference. And again, they're showing it on the television screens above us from Get Up. Now to the targeting call, where you were saying Lamagna had a bad night. Lamagna agreed with the targeting call in the second half that I'm not going to remember the name of the player. But I hate targeting. I hate it. And I understand what they're going to keep banging. They're going to keep saying this is for player safety. The reason that they do it is to make sure that, guys are being smart about the way that they're tackling. Again, Gabe, we have talked about how football tends to skew offensive. They're going to give the offense every opportunity. They're going to give them every advantage, it appears. But I hate it when a guy is making what looks to be a tackle and the offensive player changes dimension, changes height. That guy was falling away. I'm talking specifically in the second half. Mm-hmm. He was falling away, changing the target area for that defensive player. I don't think it was malicious. I don't think the guy was trying to hurt the player. And now targeting is upheld, confirmed. Now he sits out the second half, and he will miss the first half of the national championship
Yeah,
game.
real shame that Xavier Lucas has to miss that game. I'm really bummed for him. Really disappointed. Shucks.
Why are you saying it facetiously?
Because he's the one who left Wisconsin.
Oh,
Signed
okay,
the deal,
gotcha.
left Wisconsin.
Okay. Take that out of the situation.
But no, I mean, like, especially in college when a guy's going to the ground like that, like, makes sense because he's down. Like, you don't have to hit him. In the NFL, yeah, you got to go over and you got to touch him. But when in college, when a guy's going down like that, like, it makes a ton of sense. You got to keep your head up. Like, you can't lower your head and launch yourself with the crown of your helmet into somebody. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
just.
I'm with Jen, though. These targets change.
Yeah, but if he's got his head up,
I feel bad
too,
for the defender.
Pick your head up.
Yeah, if he picks his head up. And
Well,
it's,
here's the deal.
The difference.
Okay, I think there has to be intent. There has to be intent,
You
and I'll
can't
go back
legislate
to because I hold on. I can't remember a college instance, but do you guys remember Carolina, Green Bay in Carolina, where the guy just absolutely lit up Devontae Adams?
Yeah,
I think it was Devontae.
He was stood up like
That
in a pile,
was-
and the guy just
That
came
was
in and
malicious.
launched himself.
There
Yes.
was intent there. That guy should have been kicked out of the game. Okay. I think they have to get better at it. I don't think this guy had intent to go helmet to helmet. It's just a moving target, and your target changes, and football is a fast game. Now, should it have been a 15-yard penalty? Yeah, sure. But as far as targeting, I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
You got to pick your head up because again, they said it 1,000 times in the broadcast last night. It's for the protection of the guy too, because you launch yourself into somebody like that with the crown of your helmet with your head down, you're going to do some damage to your neck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a moving target there's so many moving pieces, and if you look, the target changed.
Yeah. But also,
You
you don't have to go after that guy, Chew, in that instance because the guy's already going down.
He has no idea the target's changed because he's looking at the ground as he launches himself into him. Like, that's...
So
it's
you don't think that's a
reckless.
little much for him to miss half of the next game?
What if it wouldn't have been an established rule that every player on the field's known?
All right, let me
for a
ask you
better
this,
part of a
Josh.
decade?
Josh, let me ask you this, Josh. What if that was the NFL?
It's not the NFL. What
I'm
are
just
we
saying,
comparing?
what's the difference? They're both human beings.
Well, because one's college, that's why they have it. They're trying to make sure kids' lives are better, and they're learning.
What would that have been a 15-yard penalty in the NFL?
Yes. I mean, you don't have the ejection aspect of it in the NFL, but it would have been a 15-yard penalty in the NFL.
All right. Should you take this into consideration? The hit wasn't really violent. At the end of the day, it wasn't that violent. Should you take that into consideration?
I say no.
Yeah,
Because the guy was falling away. That wasn't a very big hit. It looked worse on TV than it actually
What are we gonna
was.
legislate? Does the guy have a concussion? Is he unconscious on the field or not? And that's going to be worse. Like, what are you doing there?
Because you can get a concussion without targeting. So now if you
Correct.
get a concussion without targeting, but because it's a violent hit, that should be penalized?
I also think intent's a weird thing to try and justify because then what do we do with face mask? Those aren't always intentional.
All right, so I want to take this one step further because they were talking about this on Unsportsmanlike this morning as I was driving in, and the suggestion was thrown out there that now that these players are actually making money, should you fine them? Should there be fines attached to targeting, which make them even more penal? And my immediate reaction was, I think you open yourself up to a bounty gate. I think if fines are attached to it, as opposed to, because again, the reason why the punishment is so severe is to discourage the behavior. But the way that money is being exchanged now and tossed around in college football, I'm afraid that if you attach a fine to it instead of the ejection, then all of a sudden you'll have people actually paying for severe hits, paying for violent hits. Oh, it's going to cost you $15,000. Don't you worry about that. Little NIL deal to sweeten the pot, and then you have people who are. I'm afraid that could be a unintended consequence of attaching money, Gabe.
Yeah,
right.
I think the part that you just mentioned, the school would just pay the fine. Magically find the $15,000. And the tough part about that, because at least when guys get fined, Chew, in the NFL, like there are minimums, right? Like there's a league veteran minimum. There is a minimum that a rookie pays. And so you kind of know where to hit that. There are no minimums in college football. There aren't. Like one of these corners could be making millions of dollars. The other might be making tens of thousands, right? Like so I think that's really hard to do as well.
Well, let me ask you this. Should they handle it like the NFL and deal with it after the fact and don't let the referees be the judge and jury? Should they say, okay, you're ejected from this game. We're going to have a committee look at it like they do in the NFL and say, wasn't that violent a hit? The fact that he sat out the rest of that game is fine.
So I believe there is an appeals process that teams can engage in afterward. For the league, it's the NCAA, their coordinator of officials, and they can overturn a suspension once they review it. They can. So that option exists.
It seems like you just don't like the ejection portion of this, Chew. Like you think that's just taking it too far.
I don't mind the removing of him from the game, but I don't like if it's not egregious, the suspension. It's half of the next game.
Well, it depends upon what it happens.
don't like.
So, like, if it happens in the first half, Chew, you're suspended for the rest of that game, and then that's it. But if it happens in the second half, like it did last night, like there was a targeting call that they picked up last night, which is where Bill had a real rough go of it.
That's the one that people were arguing about, right? Where that was on Tony.
Yeah. The defender from Ole Miss didn't even see Tony. Like they hit helmet to helmet, but he was trying to make a play on the ball, and when the ball's in the air, both players have a right towards it. Tony just happened to get there first, so they ended up picking up the flag on that call but again on the TV broadcast, this is clear targeting. Then they said it wasn't. He's like, oh yeah, it's clear not targeting. Okay, thanks.
If my memory serves me correct, this happened to a Wisconsin player. Right before it was in like a Big Ten championship or whatever, and the kid, it was very clearly not a targeting. He got called for it. They appealed it, and then the NCAA did nothing about it. Like they just said, the call was right, even though there was no definable helmet to helmet contact like you would look for. And I remember they just sort of dismissed it and moved on. And I think that's sort of the precedent.
Because the NCAA doesn't care about anything,
right?
Except making money.
But I will say that
did the check clear.
So that's, I think, the frustrating part. To your point, the NCAA doesn't care about anything, but it's player safety. We want to ensure that these guys have their brains so that they can go on and live fulfilling lives. But okay, it's just talking out of both sides of their mouth a little bit there. You're right. I do think that targeting is going to continue to be a hot button issue. People are going to continue to get fired up about it the way they did last night in the game. At the end of the day, Miami is moving on. They are in the national championship game. They'll face the winner of tonight's game, Indiana and Oregon. Who you guys got? Who you like? Before we get to Jason Wilde.
Indiana.
Is everyone in the country rooting for Indiana at this point?
Well, they're just the best team in the country.
So it's less about the classic underdog story of turning things around in record time and Kurt Signetti saying funny things at the microphone and growling on the sideline. It's less about that.
I'm not saying I'm necessarily rooting for them. I just think they win because they're the best team in the country.
But I think it's good for college football, and it's good for teams to say, look, you can do it. Indiana was the toilet 10 years ago in the Big Ten.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. But there is a formula. There's a formula to become a national championship, and that is hire a good coach, and you got to pay money, and you can win, right? Anybody can win. I mean, if Purdue decides, hey, you know what? We're going to throw $30 million into this program, get ourselves a good coach, you got a shot. If you don't want to pay, if you don't want to be part of NIL, like Clemson, Dabo's, he is against NIL. Correct? Am I right? Jen, or wrong?
Not the transfer portal more than NIL.
The transfer portal? Well, you have to use all these things in order to be a national championship.
You don't say. That hits a little close to home, if I'm being honest.
Well, they've used the transfer portal plenty.
You talking about Clemson still?
No, I used
closer to home.
Yeah, well, you said closer to home. Wisconsin's used the transfer portal.
Oh, Wisconsin it is. Yeah, okay.
They haven't used it well.
Not exactly what I was referring to either, but thanks for following along, everybody. No, I do think that there is something to be said, Chew, about what did we call it yesterday when we were chit-chatting? You're basically transplanting programs, right?
Yeah.
We talked about Signetti, how he brought 13 players over from James Madison. We talked about the guy who, I'm losing his name, Campbell.
Matt Campbell.
Thank you, who's going from Iowa State to Penn State. He's bringing 19 players with him. Those 19 players can infuse the culture that he established already at Iowa State that was already successful for him, and they can plant it in Happy Valley, and they can watch it grow. So it's less. So you mentioned Purdue. Let's say they go out and they get a great head coach, right? I think the only way it works as fast as it did for Indiana is if they bring that chunk of the program with them and basically just move it to a different city. because I think it still takes time for people to buy in to a new culture, to a new brand of football, or whatever it is that each new guy is bringing with them.
But the portal and NIL go hand in hand.
Yeah,
it's
you
really
need to have a good
one
coach.
thing.
You need to have a lot of money.
Yes, there you go.
The portion that we haven't brought up for Indiana is the $30 million that one of the richest guys in the country gave them.
Mark Cuban.
Yes.
And he said that the check was even bigger for the upcoming class.
Correct.
So watch out. Jason Wilde coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Hey, there's a big NFL game happening around these parts. Bears versus Packers. We'll dive into that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Earlier accident on 94 westbound at 35th Street has been cleared up. This was the one that was blocking a couple of lanes, so that's gone. We do still have delays, though, from about 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound slowing down from 76th Street to Hawley Road. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. Volume is still relatively light out there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, chance of rain mix, becoming mostly sunny throughout the day. Finally, temperatures, though, with the high of 42. Tonight, increasing clouds, early morning rain snow mix. Tomorrow with a low of 31. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Faison who rises up, throws it down. Faison Fields is a man possessed.
Faison Fields and the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team take on Northern Kentucky this Friday. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. at Panther Arena. From clutch three-pointers to rim-rattling dunks to game-changing blocks, you'll experience all the action. Ticket prices start at just $23. Help tilt the floor this Friday at 7. Visit mkepanthers.com for tickets. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit oawspinecenter.com. That's oawspinecenter.com.
Big ideas deserve a big story and the right audience. At Saturn Lounge, we bring your marketing to life with branding, websites, digital marketing, and video storytelling that stands out from the crowd. Whether it's a TV spot, a campaign, or content built to connect, Saturn Lounge is where strategy meets creativity. From the first spark of an idea to the final cut, we're here to make your message shine across every platform. Ready to make your marketing a success? Step into the spotlight with Saturn Lounge, your launchpad for bigger, better marketing. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
Football's back, and if you're headed up toward Green Bay, the perfect stop is Higher Love Cannabis Company, just seconds over the border in Menominee, Michigan. Less than an hour from Green Bay. An easy stop before or after the game or anytime you're passing through town. And with so many low-quality, unregulated CBD products floating around Wisconsin, trust matters. Higher Love, award-winning, organically grown, locally owned, and the real deal. Higher Love Cannabis Company, best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that This guy's on the field. He changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason Wilde is brought to you by Lakeland Supply. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project? Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Visit extpros.com. Also brought to you by Century Foods. Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Let's be honest, kind of a big game taking place tomorrow in Chicago. For more on that, we go to Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. How you doing on this Friday?
You ever wake up with one of those headaches where you stand up and you're like, oh, I got to lay back down? That's how I'm doing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll talk softer.
Yes, hello, good morning. How are you?
How are you?
No,
I'll talk to you like I talk to my girls when they're having a tough day. Hi, honey. Everything okay? Do you need anything?
You ever talk to Dario like that?
Absolutely not. Jason, is this the healthiest the Packers have been in quite a while? I'm looking at the injury report, and I'm like pleasantly surprised at where we are. And as we have discussed, maybe it validates Matt LaFleur's decision to sit those guys for the Week 18 matchup against the Vikings.
Yeah, it does if most of those questionable guys are actually good to go, right? And to me, the big one is obviously Zach Tom. He's so vital to what they do. Their offensive line is vastly different when he's out there versus when he's not. They've been without him for 3 games now. But he's one of those guys that they were intentionally hoping to get healthy enough by sitting him. And I thought maybe he would be off the injury report, and the fact that he's questionable, I thought was a little bit disconcerting.
Jason, we talk a lot about the Packer injuries, but in order to be fair, how big of a boost is it going to be for Chicago to have Odunze and Burden back for this game?
Yeah, huge, right? And I mean, and one of the games they didn't have DJ Moore, who obviously caught the game-winning touchdown in overtime in Chicago a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, but I would also say that if the Packers if they have Zach Tom, we know they're going to have Evan Williams, because look, we would never know what would have happened had they had Burden and et cetera, et cetera. But I feel like Evan Williams makes a really big difference in the Packers defense too, especially the way he's elevated his game. So maybe they don't bust that coverage on the game-tying touchdown either, right? Now, maybe if they've got Odunze, he's wide open somewhere else on the field. But bottom line, right, they both played without guys that are important to what they do. And in this one, at least theoretically, they will have many of their guys that they want out there. Not all, but many, at least as far as guys that aren't on injured reserve.
Jason, I know we've talked a lot about the defensive ends, and maybe they play a little bit more, than somebody like Rashawn Gary. But interior, like Colby Wooden, Carl Brooks, and Warren Brinson aren't the biggest of dudes in terms of NFL defensive tackles. So does that mean we're going to see Jonathan Ford and or Nazir Stackhouse more to slow down the Bears' running game?
Well, that's what Matt LaFleur says. Now, I guess I would turn this around and ask Chewy. Bigger is not necessarily better when it comes to stopping the run either, right? How would you, if you're Matt LaFleur, Chew, how would you balance, okay, this guy's better, but he's not as stout or big. So, I'm fascinated by this Jonathan Ford story. We all wrote, oh, he's back. This guy, former 7th-round pick by the Packers. They pick him back up. He had never played a snap for the Packers in 2 years. And now he's going to save their run defense?
Yeah, I don't. And that was
that sounded rhetorical. That was rhetorical, right? The pause made me think, are we supposed to answer that? Yes,
no,
it's unlikely.
I wanted Chewy to tell me if bigger is better when it comes to stopping the run.
I think quicker is more dangerous. I think if you talk to offensive linemen, they rather have bigger, It's the quick, the John Randall, the inside guys that, because your steps have to – if you have a guy that slants and is really quick, Jason, as an offensive lineman, you have to be really – even as a tight end, we had to be cautious with your steps because you just weren't sure which way he was going to go. Now, if it's a big dude, you just kind of fat on fat and just lay on one another and then come off and get the backer.
Fat on fat. I like
and
that.
Just
fat
lay
on
on one another. That's also painting quite the picture.
Yeah, and that was a problem in the last game. I mean, I saw a couple clips where their double teams were putting their D linemen 3 yards down the field, and it was a problem. So they're going to have to be a little more creative to stop the Bears' rushing attack. I believe, Jason, that's the whole game. If the Bears can run the ball and get their play, it's going to be a long day. If they can keep Caleb Williams to having a 3rd and 8 to drop back in the pocket, I feel real good.
I agree. And the guy that Gabe mentioned that I think is the key to the whole thing is Nazir Stackhouse, because he's kind of, at least theoretically, he has both those things. Like, they were really excited about him coming out of camp, right? I mean, he undrafted free agent, played with Brinson at Georgia. Coming out of camp, they were like, all right, this guy, he's got quickness and he's got a lot more size. He is a big dude. But then, like, he was a healthy scratch for a good chunk of the season. So again, to be sitting here going into a playoff game going, it's going to be really important is Nazir Stackhouse. That's not exactly ideal.
Jason, Dan Orlovsky was on First Take yesterday giving a strong endorsement of the Green Bay Packers. Take a listen.
Oh, I do not. I think the Packers win. I think the Packers win handily. I'll ask you, because it's a study of yours. Give me one thing Chicago does well defensively outside
Turn the football over.
Outside of get the ball over.
And that doesn't matter. You can't take it away from them. They take the football over.
Unintended.
I think teams give it to them at times. But they don't have anything else. There's nothing else that this defense is good at. It's eventually that catches up to you. Like, there's teams that we are watching going into the playoffs that Jacksonville takes the ball away too, but they play good defense, solid defense. Chicago doesn't have that.
Jacksonville can rush, though. It's the difference.
And eventually it catches up to it. Eventually you play a team that there's, like, Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. Don't give the ball to this team. Chicago, in games when they don't get multiple takeaways, not just one, multiples, 2-6 this year.
Jason, does that reflect the confidence that you have seen from the locker room?
I think that's part of it, and it pains me to say this, but I couldn't agree more with Dan Orlovsky. I thought, that stat about 2-6 is really good, but here's the flip side, right? I mean, I was going back and I'm finishing up my story on Jordan Love, and he was so good in Dallas, right? I mean, he was amazing that first playoff game. And he was so good for 2 and almost 3 because it was on the final play of the third quarter. He was so good in San Francisco. Then he throws the pick on the last play of the third quarter, and then obviously he throws the pick on their last possession, and they lose in San Francisco. And then last year, he throws 3 interceptions in Philly. Like, 5 interceptions in essentially his last 5 quarters of playoff football. That's the ball game. Because I think Dan Orlovsky is right. So, and now Jordan Love is also coming off of 2.5 games of inactivity game-wise. I was talking to him yesterday again. Like, he practiced all week going into Baltimore, but he couldn't pass the computerized cognitive testing in order to play. So the good thing is he has practiced all that time. The concerning thing is that between how those and look, just because he did that in those playoff games doesn't mean he's going to do it against the Bears. I understand. But that, I think, just highlights how absolutely critical it is to take care of the football and not, as Dan said, give it to them. Like, if they're going to turn you over, you have to make them turn you over. And Josh Jacobs, I can tell you this, Josh Jacobs is really out to atone because he's barely touched the football since he fumbled at the goal line with 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter in Chicago. Like, those guys, Dan's exactly right. Like, I have a hard time seeing this defense being able to slow the Packers down if they don't take the ball away. The Packers beat themselves in the red zone the last time around.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again very soon.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
He's Jason Wilde. They'll be talking Bears, Packers on Wilde and Tausch today, right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. All right, it's still a lot of stuff to get to regarding that big matchup, that wild card matchup. And Giannis Antetokounmpo talks to The Athletic. We'll dive into that here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, westbound 94, seeing delays from 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, you are backing up from around 84th Street to about Hawley Road. Rest of the system is actually looking pretty good. I'm not seeing really any other delays. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, chance of rain mix, becoming mostly sunny, falling temperatures, a high of 42. Tonight, increasing clouds, early morning rain snow mix, a low of 31. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the green jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered with fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel. Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm telling you, don't doubt his story, because he heebie-jeebies at certain times to miss field goals.
Yeah.
Gabe, I showed you how he does the heebie-jeebies, right?
Heebie-jeebie.
You take your fingers and you rub them back and forth on your thigh, and you go heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie. Swear the guy bats 100%. So to call him a liar and he puts a curse on you?
Look, I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, you are.
On 94.5 ESPN.
So Dan Orlovsky, or as we know him here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Safety Boy, is very confident about the Green Bay Packers' ability to go down to Soldier Field and get a win in the first game of the postseason. Matt LaFleur also talking about what his team needs to do to have success. To have success.
I hope you clip that, please.
Oh, yeah. Clearly. There's how do you not? I'm
All right, I'll let it go.
Continue, Jen.
I'll
I
let
want to
it
hear
go.
this clip about Matt LaFleur. I'm
He
certainly
likes
a
to
lot
have
more
sex
engaged.
before games.
Just out of curiosity, were you pre-activity, activity, or were you anti-pre-activity? Chew.
Well, they used to put saltpeter in our food.
That is not confirmed.
Calling
It's
Chewy
not
a liar?
confirmed, but if you talk,
It sounds like if you're
talk
calling
to
Chewy a liar.
most of the guys on the team, yeah.
Chewy's like, let me explain to you how data works, all right?
Chewy did his own research on this one, all right?
Which is weird because saltpeter goes in gunpowder.
Really? Feels
think.
extreme.
Josh?
Well, listen, it's because you were talking about fat on fat and laying on each other earlier, and I think my brain was just locked in on that. So you know what? I'm going to blame you for that, Chew. Let's hear from Matt LaFleur on the keys to success in the playoffs.
Same as any other games or something a little different?
I think the more normal you can make it, the better chance you have. Just say throughout my experiences, when you got to just do your job and focus on your job. And we know this, like anytime you're playing a really good football team, whether it's in the playoffs or in the regular season, every play is so critical. So you can't have lapses, whether it's intensity, whether it's mental lapses. They just can't happen because every play is so valuable, so critical. There's no wasted plays. And then I think ultimately what it comes down to is your ability to execute. And I would say this, that in the biggest of games, your best players have to play their best.
It's just, it's execution, but it comes down to processing. You know, most routes I had, if it was cover two, I had to take the middle of the field, right? Now, the defense had a coverage called box poach, where they try to bait you into thinking that it's cover two, and then they jump you, and they ultimately get the box poach. If I screwed that up, I'd screw up the whole play, and the coaches would rip my tail. But you have to make this decision so fast. And you can't go, I think it is, and then get halfway to, oh, it's not. Okay. That's what he's talking about. It's not, it's execution, but you have to be able to process very quickly, have a clear mind, and if you're going to do it, like Jordan Love. You know, you see a guy, he's not open as much as you like. You can't sit there. You just got to uncork it and have confidence that's going to play out. I think that's what he's saying.
Are you talking exclusively about the quarterback's processing time, or are you talking about the team as a whole, every single player? Because we go back to what we talk about often with this Packers team. They are still one of the youngest in the league, and I guess I imagine that processing thing sort of gets better year by year in the NFL.
I'm talking about everybody. You know, the one thing that I just remember, and it pertained to running backs, is Holmgren's theory was, don't tell a running back where to go, because from the sideline, it looks a lot different than what Josh Jacobs is seeing. Now, you can go back from the end zone copy and show him, like, you don't tell him, you just like, well, did you see this cut here to the backside? He never told, his philosophy was, don't ever tell a running back where to go, because you don't know what is inside of his head, and things happen so quickly. So it's just, you have to trust your guys to process, which leads to execution. You know, and Gabe, I think we were talking about it earlier in the week with these young guys, like with Sorrell and these guys. You know, Young guys are going to make mistakes, but do it at 110%.
Just go.
Just go. Exactly.
So any
I think
concern
that's
at
what
all?
you're
Go ahead, Shu. Any concern at all, though, that they are on this 4-game losing streak? And the only reason I bring this up is because every time I read an article and it talks about how they are the 4th team in NFL history to enter the postseason on a 4-game losing streak, 2 of those 3 other teams lost their first game.
Yeah, I look at a lot of those historical stats. Like, that has nothing to do with this year's team. The fact that the 1986 Jets, won games has nothing to do with this team and specifically this matchup. And that's why we keep talking about, to me, Packers-Bears. Like, the Packers would probably be the 3rd team that wouldn't win a game if they were going to Philadelphia. But they've got an opportunity to win because they're going up against the Chicago Bears team that, to me, isn't as good as Philadelphia. We heard the clip from Dan Orlovsky. This defense, as long as you avoid turnovers, and the Packers are one of those teams that are really good at avoiding turnovers, this defense, I've been saying it for how long? Since going back to the first time they played, this defense stinks. It's a bad defense. And if you avoid turnovers, you're going to have a great opportunity to win this game.
But also, don't put yourself in a position where, as I have said, I think the Bears are the most dangerous team in the NFL in the final 2 minutes of the game. And they've shown that. Their record has shown that. When they're down, they are not out. And so if you're the Packers, you need to make sure that this thing isn't even in question. It cannot be a one-possession game in the last, let's say, 5 minutes of the game.
That's why you got to cash in the red zone. And that's where, as good as Malik played in the game where he came in for Jordan, having Jordan in the red zone is a lot better. He's a lot more comfortable throwing into those tight windows. He's going to have to operating the offense when you're inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line. And yeah, if you can move the ball, but if you don't punch it in, that's kind of what happened to the Lions last week. Now, they eventually pulled out the game, but they could not put the Bears away because they were settling for field goals, much like the Packers did in the previous matchup. You got to punch it in. I'm not saying you got to punch it in every time, but if you get there, you got to be 4 for 5. You got to punch it in that many times in the red zone and stop settling for field goals, because then that's where the Bears can come back and bite you.
And I think you can explain away, or LaFleur should try to sell, explaining away the 4-game losing streak. You sit there as a coach and you sit there in a team meeting, you go, look, we had Denver put away, and then lightning struck.
Yep.
Okay? Lightning struck. We didn't anticipate lightning striking, and we lost. And then we go to Chicago, and we lose our leader. Not to take anything away from Malik, but we lost our guy. And then Baltimore, you guys were feeling sorry for yourself. You were kind of licking your wounds, and we weren't prepared, and we got our ass kicked. And then you guys all know what happened in Minnesota. I don't have to tell you that, okay? And then just sell it. Like, we're a better team. We had the Bears on the ropes without our leader. And I think that's how you sell it, and that's how you get over the mindset of, oh, we lost 4 in a row. So hopefully he's done that.
And to the point that you made, Gabe, about the red zone, call this, Pollyanna. But there is a big part of me that thinks that it's no coincidence that they have struggled in the red zone when Josh Jacobs has been less than 100%.
Yeah.
Like, he's their red zone threat. He's their red zone guy. So when he has been out dealing with the knee injuries, it does take away an option. It takes away their key option, the one that they'd like to utilize the most. So I do think that him being back, obviously, I think gives them an edge now when they get into those situations.
I mean, most of his touchdowns have come inside the 10-yard line. Like, he broke out the big one a few weeks ago, but most of those touchdowns, he's got 13, one of the top numbers in the NFL. A lot of those are coming inside the 10 because he's able to move piles by himself. And look, he seems like he's feeling great, feeling better than he has in a while. So I think that's a huge thing and a huge boost to the Packers offense as well.
And I also don't think we have talked enough about Christian Watson and the difference of having him on the field. And I know he's been on the field for the majority of this season now, but just the impact that he makes, he's such a huge weapon. And when we went through the list the other day where we were power ranking the receivers or pass catchers who are going to be on the field, he's number 1. There's no question he's the best wide receiver on the field this Saturday night at Soldier Field. So that, again, gives me confidence that Matt LaFleur can use those weapons that Green Bay has and get a victory over the Bears on Saturday night, move on in the playoffs to face Seattle. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. 800-990-3776 if you want to weigh in on something other than me saying sex accidentally, because right now that is the only thing that people are weighing in on the Carbless Talk and Text line and on the YouTube stream.
Yeah, I mean,
Matt LaFleur also talking about what his team needs to do to have sex.
What do you think they need to do, though, Jen? We never got to the bullet points
sex.
of what they needed to do.
Well, you got to get on the apps, okay? First and
All right, it's
foremost.
2026. Get on the apps,
All right.
okay.
Maybe go out to a club or a bar. I don't know.
Okay.
That feels a little passé. It feels a little archaic at this point. But you got to put yourself out there.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Just make yourself available.
Correct.
All right, got to make yourself available.
Got to clear your head.
Oh, we're talking solo sex now?
Yeah, you can't get in your own head. That's for sure. Hungry for bold flavor? Woodman's has the deal you've been waiting for. Going on right now through January 25th. Yeah, a lot of these times, these deals, they only will go for a week. This one's going all the way to January 25th. Grab Screamin' Sicilian pizzas, the original, thin and crispy, or the tavern style for just $5.99 each. That's right, more of your favorite pizza loaded with toppings at an unbeatable price. Stock up now. Make every night a pizza night because at Woodman's, Screamin' Sicilian, original, thin and crispy, or tavern style, just $5.99 each. Get to Woodman's before January 25th.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Faison who rises up, throws it down. Faison Fields is a man possessed.
Faison Fields and the Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball team take on Northern Kentucky this Friday. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. at Panther Arena. From clutch three-pointers to rim-rattling dunks to game-changing blocks, you'll experience all the action. Ticket prices start at just $23. Help tilt the floor this Friday at 7. Visit mkepanthers.com for tickets. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
The shot clock's winding down, and Saturn Lounge scores at the buzzer. When your marketing needs a slam dunk, our team drives the lane with creative strategy, branding, websites, video storytelling, and marketing campaigns that win. We run the full court press in every engagement, pushing the pace, finding that open shot, and delivering the highlight reel results. Our Saturn Lounge team ensures that your marketing content and campaigns dominate like a champion. Don't settle for a turnover or a missed shot or a wasted possession. Let Saturn Lounge run your marketing game plan now. To tell the world your story, visit SaturnLounge.com today.
It's a new year, and everyone's talking resolutions. Eat better, move more, give up everything fun. Yeah, Carbless says you don't have to do that part, because when you reach for a Carbless, you're choosing a better-for-you cocktail. With 0 carbs, 0 sugar, only 100 calories, and full of flavor, you can stay on track with your New Year's resolutions without having to commit to dry January. Start 2026 with balance, not guilt. Your goals matter, and your fun does too. Carbless, your New Year's first good decision.
4 years, it's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to raise a toddler into a kindergartner, to train for something big and become someone new.
Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest for 4 years, so you can invest in your home and use your hard-earned savings for life's biggest moments. Offering Pella exclusive features like blinds between the glass and customizations to match every home style. We believe in providing our customers with the highest quality products and top-notch service at a price you can afford. Tested, safe, durable, and backed by a limited lifetime warranty, Pella is rated #1 for craftsmanship, innovation, and exceptional design.
So aim high and think long-term when setting your New Year's resolution. And imagine what you can accomplish in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella Windows and Doors Wisconsin. Start your journey today at PellaWI.com.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What's the one thing you say almost weekly here on the show?
Less eat.
Try again.
I don't know.
What's the one thing you've got?
Big boobs.
You've got time.
Oh, time.
You've got time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We got there.
Took off. I needed a few more hints.
Yeah.
What?
You put you in a... That's Dave's fault.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you're heading to a Milwaukee Bucks game, you can make a bet at Potawatomi Sportsbook and catch a shuttle to Fiserv Forum. After a purchase or a bet, a wristband will be given out at the bar or the betting counter upon request. Got to have a wristband to board the shuttle from Potawatomi to Fiserv Forum, but you don't have to have one to come back to Potawatomi. Seating is limited. It's a first-come, first-served basis. It drops off and picks up at the Annex, which is conveniently right next to the sportsbook. Shuttles begin departing Potawatomi 1 hour and 15 minutes before game time and return beginning in the third quarter, nonstop until 1 hour after the game. If you're going to a Bucks game, don't worry about the hassle of parking downtown. Go to Potawatomi, make a bet or a purchase, and get a ride on the shuttle. Bet above the rest only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am about to pop some Excedrin. This is not an ad. The Giannis Antetokounmpo stuff, guys, gives me a migraine. And we're going to talk about it in the second hour of the show, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I am going to have to take a substance. I'm going to have to take the something, right? A little ibuprofen, a little acetaminophen. I don't even know what Excedrin is. It's one of the two. In order to navigate this situation yet again. Josh, is that fair? I mean, come on. You've read the article. You've seen the interview. Like,
yeah, it's a lot. And we're right back into the national media's haters. Giannis always wanted to be here cycle, and rinse, repeat.
What's Excedrin?
If you had to guess, well, maybe this is a bad idea.
Nope. It's a fantastic idea.
Well, is it like Advil or Tylenol?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, all right.
But why would you say Excedrin?
Wasn't it for headaches specifically? As opposed to like Advil or Bear or any of those?
Is Excedrin more migraine than
That's
headache?
that's the only reason I said it, because I thought it was like specific to like, I got a lot of head pain here. Trying to parse through the Giannis Antetokounmpo conversation on The Athletic.
Yeah, I've never purchased Excedrin, so I'm not sure.
I've never either. I would never. It would never cross my
I
mind.
thought it was headache specific or head specific. You know, Advil's for aches and pains, right? So if I said, I got to pop some Advil, it could be, your lower back acting up again. You know, I'm going to be 45 next week.
Congrats.
Thanks, made it another year. This was a doozy. Wasn't sure if I was going to make it this year.
Why? Is that a bad number for you?
No, it's a good number.
Okay.
Right? But it's a round number, right? It's not like saying like I'm going to be 42.
It's not a round number, but
It's probably, it's not a prime number either. I was going to say that right away, and I was like, no, it's not true. No, it just feels like it's the
like the
last
5s and
milestone
10s.
before 50.
Is 45 really a milestone?
Well, it's a fiver.
Yeah, but I don't think those are like the last milestone it's a 5 is 25.
Halfway to 50.
Is 25 a milestone?
Well, because you can.
What are the
no.
Wait, time out. What are the milestones?
You can finally rent a
30.
car.
We just talked
30
about this
is.
because Chase turned 17 yesterday, and I was telling you guys it's a weird age, right? Like there's
So-
nothing really cool about 17.
Yeah, the milestones are clearly 16,
18, 21,
21,
21,
25, because you can rent a car.
because you can rent a car.
No, there's not 20.
What are the worst ages to turn?
Are you asking me?
Like 19
Well,
and
since
20,
you got the most of them, maybe.
19 and 20 are bummers. That's sort of the middle ground.
Well,
of
that's
nothing
kind of
special.
17, right, at this stage of the game.
But, well, actually, no, you can't buy heaters at 19 anymore. It's 21, right?
No, that's 18.
No, I think the age is bumped up.
What?
No, I don't think so. What about Zens, Joshy?
We could Google it. We have that ability. I think it's 21. I'm not crazy.
You might be crazy.
What about Zens, Josh? Are those 18?
I believe those are same thing as like cigarettes.
Really?
Oh, they did bump it to 21.
See?
No, December 2019. All states, territories, and
Glad
tribal
I'm paying
lands.
attention around here.
I mean, I was over 21. I didn't really have to pay attention to it.
I can't think of a bit of information I need to know less than how old you have to be to smoke a cigarette. Because one, pretty sure I've eclipsed it. Two, I have no interest in smoking a cigarette.
You could take your son when he turns 18 to buy heaters. Not anymore.
He was asking that. He said, so next year when I turn 18, what can I do? I was like, well, you can get scratch-offs. And he goes, you guys get us scratch-offs for Christmas every year. And I go, shh.
Fireworks is 18, right? You can go buy some fireworks.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we'll do that.
Right.
Zipped out. Not here, though, right? You gotta
Well, no, I mean, you got to jump over the border.
kick down. Or is
Do you
it
still
here?
have to? All right. Well, here, dumb question. Do you still have to register for the draft?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I mean, I did it. I guess it was a while ago when I did it, but I know I did it.
Well, I remember I had to go down to the post office. What did you have to do?
I think I just filled out a card and mailed it in.
Yeah, they send you something.
Yeah.
I don't think there is that anymore.
I love that Chewy asks every question of this segment, and then when you answer it, he goes, I don't think so.
Yeah. And I think I'm 2-0.
What are we asking the questions for? He already got the answers.
I think I went 100% there, too.
We got Packers Bears. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo. We got Craig Carmason all coming up in the second hour of the show. Hang out.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we got delays westbound 94 from 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some backups from before 84th Street to Hawley Road. And again, coming out of the stadium interchange to about 27th. Northbound 4394, we've got backups from Howard Avenue all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. And then we've got more delays from about Beecher Street up to the high-rise bridge. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, chance for a rain-snow mix, becoming mostly sunny, falling temperatures with a high of 42. Tonight, increasing clouds, early morning rain-snow mix, a low of 31. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the green jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Craig Carmason on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Saturn Lounge, your partner for marketing strategy, creative content, and winning campaigns. From websites to video and everything marketing, visit SaturnLounge.com to tell the world your story.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into The Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Shoot. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Well, we have talked about this concept before, about various sports stories. But y'all are familiar with a Rorschach test, right? Rorschach test?
No.
Okay. It's that ambiguous ink blot, Chew, that they show in like psychological testing
Yeah.
And depending on what you see in the ambiguous ink blot is supposed to reveal personality traits or emotional function. And
whether or not you're a serial killer, things like that.
100%, yeah. What do you see? I see a goose strangling a platypus. Okay.
All right. Well, just like
I
this
see.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt LaFleur having
Now, why would you want to visualize that, Chew? Good grief.
Yeah, she was talking about the players.
Why would you want to visualize that? Good grief. All right, so this Giannis Antetokounmpo conversation with The Athletic, to me, is a Rorschach test. If you didn't get a chance to read it, we'll give you some of the details of the conversation. But as always, there is a lot of interest in what Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to do going forward. And I think that, I'm just going to try to pull up the article very quickly here. I think that when I was reading it, I was like, okay, Giannis is saying that he doesn't want to go anywhere, that he wants to stay. He's committed to Milwaukee. But then in the next answer, he would say something like, but it's kind of like your wife. You know, today she's a good wife, but things might fall apart tomorrow. Wait, what? And then later in the conversation, he said, I'm committed to this team. I want to be here. I've said this over and over again. But then he makes a reference to his eggs. And he says something along the lines of, you know, sometimes you like scrambled eggs and sometimes you like sunny side up eggs. And if I like scrambled eggs today, am I not allowed to change my mind and enjoy sunny side up eggs tomorrow? And I was like, what? And so that's why I said I got to grab the Excedrin. Because to me, Gabe, reading this article, it was, he still doesn't know. I think he wants to be committed to Milwaukee. He wants to make it work here. But he recognizes that, one, and he said it multiple times in the article, he's an employee. And they may want to move on from him. Although the Bucks have sort of said, no, not really interested in that. The other thing he keeps deferring to is that he can't control the conversations that his people have. His agents, for instance.
Well, you can. You're speaking of being an employee.
Yeah.
Being 100%. You're right. The agents work for the player. So if the player doesn't want the agent to be having those conversations, all the player has to do is say, stop having those conversations. So that's how I interpret it, which was, I'm getting dizzy here trying to follow the stream of consciousness, trying to follow the thought process. And I don't think Giannis said what people think he said in this article, which is, I'm here, I'm locked in, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, he can do all those things that he wants, Jen, but he said the words that everybody wanted him to say. And then he tried to give himself outs. That doesn't matter to me. He said, my plan is to be here for the rest of my career. That's in here. That's in black and white. My plan is to be here for the rest of my career. That's what people have wanted to hear him say. And now if he wants to give himself outs down the road, I don't know if he just wants to give himself these outs because he's worried that the fan base would turn on him if he left. Well, this is actually how you get the fan base to turn on you if you leave, if you ask out. Because I'm pretty confident that the Bucks aren't going to trade you. I'm pretty confident that next October, the Bucks are going to offer you giant contract. And if you don't sign it, if you'd like to become a free agent, if you ask out for a trade, my plan is to be here for the rest of my career is going to be used against you. Again, you tried to talk yourself into circles with all the things about eggs and wives and all these other things. But you said the thing that everybody wanted you to say. And now, if you were trying to avoid that fan base turning on you if you do leave, unfortunately, you said the thing that everybody wanted you to say. And now everybody believes, or a portion of the fan base believes, that you are going to be here for the rest of your career because you said it. And that's the only thing that matters to a lot of these people. So he can try to give himself outs all he wants. He didn't do himself any favors if ultimately he does want to leave because he said the thing.
Well, he wants his cake and eats it too, right?
Yeah, he doesn't want to answer these questions anymore.
He just wants everyone to love him, and it's not possible. I mean, I remember Andy Reid telling me, he's like, not everyone's going to like you, so be fine with it. And they always say, you know what, there's the best day of becoming a head coach is the day you step to the podium and accept the job. Everything else outside of the Super Bowl is downhill from there. You believe that?
Yeah, I believe that because, there's, again, the Super Bowl, I'm guessing, would be, if you're Andy, I'm guessing the Super Bowl or the ones that he won were a higher pinnacle than accepting the job in Kansas City. But especially after going through a year like this, I'm sure there are people in Kansas City calling for Andy Reid's job. I'm sure.
I guarantee, yes, there's a percentage.
I mean, and those
Yes.
people are crazy, but yeah, I mean that's chatter that you have to listen to, even though you're a future Hall of Fame coach.
So let me just go through and read a few of the things that we have referenced. Obviously, you said eggs and wives, and those are going to be the caveats that I think people point to. He said, today our relationship is great. And he's talking about his relationship with the Milwaukee Bucks. Tomorrow, it might be different. It's the same thing with my wife. Until today, my wife is great. She's a great mother. She's a great partner. She supports me until today. Tomorrow, she might wake up and be like, I don't want this. I fell out of love. Until today, me and John Horst have a good relationship. Tomorrow might be something else out there, and he might have to do whatever he has to do. And then he says, for me right now, today, I am committed. Not 100%, but 1,000,000% to my teammates, to my craft, to this team, and to this city. 1,000,000%. I don't look right. I don't look left. I look only to the next game, which is the Lakers, and I want to win that game. I want to stack wins before the All-Star game and get ourselves back in the race. I think those caveats there, and to your point, maybe they are a trap door, a back door, a way he can get out of this thing. But I think those caveats there, when I read it, to me was, this is not what you think it is. This is not that statement of commitment, that putting a rest to all the nonsense, that shutting down the national narrative. This is a guy who doesn't know, who today is confident in where he wants to be, but tomorrow, we'll see. Now, did you read it, Gabe, as he was saying that if tomorrow the relationship deteriorated, it would be because of something the Bucks chose as opposed to him?
No, I mean, he's saying he could change, right? I think
that was the eggs part, right?
That was the eggs part, and again, the wife's part too, right? Like, oh, she might change her mind tomorrow. I think that opens the door for Giannis changing his mind tomorrow as well. But again, the things that got aggregated out of this by a good portion of the Bucks fan base, yeah, there is some strong stuff in there if you isolate it. And that's the stuff that a lot of people are going to see. And by saying those things, again,
but what did he say,
don't
Gabe?
care.
What did he say exactly about being a Buck? He said he wants to be a Buck
forever. My plan is
forever.
to be here for the rest of my career.
Yeah,
is
but
the
then
direct
you can't.
quote.
Yeah. But then he's
So
putting
the
caveats
very
on.
next sentence is, my plan is to be here for the rest of my career. If they don't want me, that's just not how any of that's going to work. The Bucks are going to want you forever because you're the cash cow. You're the thing that gives them any sort of opportunity, chance, or hope at winning a second championship. Like, even if this group can't get it done, like, okay, we're going to try to find a different group building around Giannis because he's a generational type of talent and player.
Pete weighing in on the YouTube stream saying, Giannis is authentic. People may not like his choice of words, but he is salt of the earth. He doesn't spew bleep like Rodgers did. He's not crafting this ahead of time. I don't have an issue with what Giannis said. If that's how he wants to answer these questions, that is well within his right and his prerogative. The issue I have is if, to Gabe's point, you're sitting here and you're cherry picking certain portions of the interview to validate a position that you have. That's where I'm saying, no, guys. Like, you can't be living in an echo chamber just because you want Giannis to be a Buck forever. You can't just isolate on that sentence that Gabe has mentioned and not also read about wives and eggs. The eggs thing is this. I'm going to read it to people for people who haven't read the article. So the reporter says, but as you said, things change every day. Just making sure. It could have happened at breakfast today. And Giannis says, right. So just because I like my eggs scrambled today, I don't have the opportunity to eat sunny side up eggs tomorrow. We're human, right? It's the same thing in basketball. But again, in my nature, I will never, that's not who I am. And that's referring to asking for a trade. Mm-hmm. So that's my only frustration with this is, yesterday, after this article came out, after this conversation came out, I saw a lot of people using it to defend the position that, see, all of those conversations about Giannis not wanting to be a Milwaukee Buck for the long haul were wrong. And all I keep saying is, did you read the whole article? Or did you just see a few quotes that were shared online?
And the problem with some of the reporting that was done earlier, like there are nuggets of things that aren't true in that reporting, right? So that just leaves the whole thing ambiguous. Right? So, this little part was untrue, so this part of the whole thing's not true. I think there's a lot of gray when we're dealing with Giannis and the story. I think
he
that's
just wants everyone. He wants everyone to love him no matter what he does. And Giannis ain't gonna be the case. I'm sorry. It might be a small percentage, but I'm sorry. You can't say I want to be here forever. But if tomorrow I like Sunnyside up or whatever.
But by the way, come on, like I mean, the wives thing is stronger than the eggs thing. I mean, people like varieties of eggs. Like, you're allowed
Those
to
aren't
like
even the
varieties
best
of
eggs, though. The best eggs are poached in vinegar. So good. Put that on the poll.
I'm
That's
sorry.
a walk in the
What?
park.
You're doing what?
Vinegar?
Yeah.
Eggs in vinegar?
2 poached eggs in vinegar over corned beef hash. Oh, make your sticker peck out. Ooh-wee.
I don't feel
Hey,
so
she
bad.
said sex. She said sex.
Yeah, but it was a
So you're
slip of the
telling me I can't say that?
I mean, the fact that you, I think, say it wrong on purpose makes it clear. You're not actually saying anything.
So why are the targeting rules? Hey, why, Josh? Why are the targeting rules different for Jen as opposed to me? I don't get it.
He's saying it's not an issue because you said sticker peck out. Which we will move on from. The last thing I'll say about this is, and Gabe, you touched on it earlier, this idea that Giannis can't control what his agent is going to say, what his best friend is going to say, what his chef is going to say. Those are the ones that he referenced specifically. You're Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can absolutely control what your agent says, what your friend is saying, what your chef is saying. 2 of those people work for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, the friend one's a little more difficult because chances are the friend doesn't work for you. But you can have a conversation and be like, hey, maybe don't say that next time. With the agent and chef, damn well right, you can control what they say. You're the one paying the bills, man. You're telling me you can't control whether or not your agent talks to the Bucks and is like, hey, maybe it's time to move on from Giannis?
Or talks to other teams, talks to other GMs, talks
Feels
to other people.
like that's exactly what you can do in this situation. Again, if you're going to use the I'm not the one in charge, I'm an employee quote that is in here when referencing if the Bucks want you or not, well, I'm just the employee. Well, it seems like, well, you're the boss. And in here, you also make note of how you're the boss and have an enterprise and have a lot of arms of things that you have going on in Milwaukee, and you're connected to the community, and that's why you love Milwaukee. You are the boss of your agent, and you can't control what he says and who he is talking to.
Reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line. Justin says, he's a guy who's living in the realities of life. It just doesn't work well for our sports world of wanting perfect answers. Everything he said is exactly how we all treat life. You can plan, but plans change. That's literally life. And Ron in the Key weighs in saying, it's all still statements that mean nothing. It can all be retrofitted to be true. I never asked for a trade. Oh, but my agent did. Or I said I wanted to be on a contender. They couldn't make it happen. So my plan was to retire in Milwaukee always, but the Bucks made that impossible. Yeah, there's so many variables at play here. Joshy, what's your reaction to the Giannis conversation with The Athletic that dropped yesterday?
It's I have Aaron Rodgers PTSD. Now, there's not as much there, and there's not as much history, but it feels like, as Ron just said there, it leaves a lot of wiggle room with the way everything's said. And I don't know if anyone's asking for him to commit his entire career to Milwaukee at this point. They're looking for, what are you doing this year? What are you doing with your next contract? And the whole, like, I'm here forever, but maybe not in case I want to change my mind. Like, I understand that. You may not want to be here forever, and I don't hold that against you. It seems like it's wanting to have your cake and eat it too. It's wanting to be the good guy and not be the bad guy. It's wanting to have all the positive things without the negative. And if he really believes he's never going to be able to ask for a trade, then so be it.
I think we're heading towards one of two things. I think that this is how this ultimately plays out. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because we know from Giannis and his background, like how much that max contract means, right? Like how much that generational wealth, and not even just for him, but like his family in general, like making sure everyone in his family is taken care of. So either he signs that max contract and he's just going to be here in October, or because it's not in his nature to ask for a trade, and he knows that the only way out of Milwaukee is to ask for a trade, he just sits there and does nothing, doesn't sign that extension, and then that forces the Bucks' hand. Okay, do you want to trade him next year at the trade deadline before his contract expires? Or do you want to potentially get nothing for him as he leaves in free agency?
It seems like it's working its way there, doesn't it?
So it's one of those two things.
Right.
And if he does it, we get to October and he doesn't sign that extension, I'll give it a 2-week buffer because he hasn't signed the extension in the Supermax the exact day he can in the past. So I'll give him a 2-week buffer there. But if we get to the month of November this year and he hasn't signed that, now it's, he's forcing his way out without having to say, "Oh, I want out of here."
Yeah.
How much would he lose, Gabe? How much would he lose not doing the Supermax? If he went to another team, how much would...
If he just left in free agency, like guaranteed money, I mean, it's probably at this point somewhere between 90 and 100.
What's more important to him?
Well, again, that's why I think it's
Money or
fascinating.
championships?
That's why I think it's fascinating, because the money represents the family he can take care of, which is we know is really important to him, but also he wants to win championships.
I mean, how many generations now has he secured the future for?
Great question, Joshy.
A lot. But he wants to secure more. Like, but that's like his mentality when it comes to money is crazy.
I understand that. It's just like at some, when you reach the certain level of wealth, it begets wealth.
I don't know.
understand.
I agree. I agree in principle, but man, scarcity mindset is strong, right? And this is a guy who has the top tier level of scarcity mindset.
Yes.
So no matter how much he makes, he always will revert back to that kid who was selling watches and selling CDs on the streets of Greece. 800-990-3776. Your reaction, whether you read the article, whether you didn't read the article, whether you saw some of the stuff aggregated on social media, your reaction to what Giannis has said about his future in Milwaukee. Happy to listen all morning long. But we got to get back to Packers-Bears, and we have Craig Carmason coming up shortly. Stick around.
Let me tell you about our good friends at Bunzel's, 90th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. It's the only place I go. I love taking advantage of the meat deal. Just $20, 26 cents. A lot of great things. It changes on a monthly basis. But maybe you want to stop by this week and take advantage of some of the other deals, like stuffed pork tenderloins at $7.99 a pound. The state champion honey mustard cheddar bratwurst, $6.89 a pound. They are fantastic. Anytime I have people come in from out of town and I'm going to be grilling, I have to get some because everybody loves them. You can get whole or cut chickens at $2.89 a pound. And Bunzel's ready-to-cook fajita mix, peppers, onions, cilantro, lime, and seasonings. It's $8.99 a pound for chicken, $11.99 a pound for beef. I love grabbing that. It's a great dinner. You just throw it in the pan, you heat it up, you get everything ready, and boom, you've got fajitas for the night. Big fan. Recommend you stop in. Bunzel's, 90th and Burleigh. You're not going to regret it. Find all the weekly specials and that monthly meat deal, Bunzel's.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Things starting to look a little bit better out there. Westbound 94, we got our usual backups from 30th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's tightening up from just before 76th Street to Hawley Road. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes. Westbound on 894 heading right past 60th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance of rain-snow mix, becoming mostly sunny, falling temperatures with a high of 42. Tonight, increasing clouds, early morning rain and snow mix with a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
If you're heading to a Milwaukee Bucks game or you're trying to figure out where to watch the biggest football games of the year, Potawatomi Casino Hotel has you covered from kickoff to the final buzzer. Hey, it's Jen Latta. I'm here with Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel to talk game day shuttles and watch party plans for the big game on February 8th.
Thanks for having me. This is honestly one of the best times of the year if you love sports, and we've got a lot going on.
Okay, so let's start with the Bucks games because this is a game changer. You don't have to deal with the parking situation downtown anymore.
Exactly. If you're going to a Bucks home game, we'll get you to and from Pfizer Forum. Our shuttles start running about an hour and 15 minutes before tip-off and head back beginning in the third quarter to bring you back.
All right, so what do people need to hop on?
It's super easy. Just make any purchase in the sports book or place a same-day sports bet. After that, ask for a wristband at the bar or betting counter. You'll need that wristband to board the shuttle leaving Potawatomi.
Okay, a great deal, obviously, and a great way to get to the game. Let's talk about the big game. February 8th, it's coming up fast, and you've got options.
Yes, we've got 3 great ways to watch. You can catch the game at 1100, Rock and Brews, or Small Bar if you want a fun, laid-back vibe. Or you can go big with the Yingling Tailgate Watch Party in the Annex. It's $60, and that includes all-you-can-eat tailgate food and 3 drinks. Doors open at 3, so you can make a whole day out of it. And if you want the ultimate setup, you can reserve your spot in the sports book. We've got drink specials too, like $20 pitchers of Yingling and $10 off 100-ounce beer tubes.
Free parking, great food, big screens, and an awesome game day atmosphere. Where can everyone go to make those reservations?
Potawatomi.com.
That's POTAWATOMI.com. Thanks, Sarah.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, they're very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the studio, kitchen, and cocktails. It's Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. That's right, the studio, kitchen, and cocktails. I know you're looking for new spots, places maybe you haven't been, to enjoy a night out. Put the studio, kitchen, and cocktails on your list, guys. Flavors and drinks for every mood. The perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social at the studio, kitchen, and cocktails, now on the second floor of St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. We talked a little bit yesterday about Josh Jacobs' comments about protecting Jordan Love, right? A lot of people took that hit on Love personally. Well, it appears, guys, that the Bears players have reacted to Josh Jacobs' reaction to the hit on Jordan Love the last time the Bears and Packers played. And, of course, that knocked Jordan Love out. He missed the next few games, but he's back on the field for the game this Saturday. Gabe, what did the Bears players say yesterday in response to Josh Jacobs saying a lot of people took the hit on Love personally?
From Austin Booker, I don't know. Maybe they should have done something last game. Wasn't an issue for the Packers in the moment. Yeah. They would have done something. So, even if they tried to do something, obviously it didn't work out. So we'll see. Jaquan Brisker also said, yeah, obviously they're going to take it to heart. Their quarterback got hurt. They probably thought we did it intentional. Or maybe their coaches, they hit him. They're trying to take him out of the game or whatever. Honestly, that's bulletin board material right there. Obviously, if Jacobs, was so mad, he would have did something during the game after Love, got hurt. And then he got a chance to prove it on Saturday.
Chewy, your reaction?
He's right. He's right. He didn't address it then. A little Monday morning quarterback. I don't think, to me, that's as big a deal as what Hafley did. I'd be more ticked off at Hafley.
Basically guaranteeing a win, saying he'll be back next week.
Yep. You guys?
I guess I need to know, we've talked about this for years, about how guys sort of manufacture drama, manufacture motivation. Mm-hmm. To me, these all feel very minimal. They feel very light. But add a little gasoline, and these guys can make them and interpret them as major slights, right? I'm assuming you're telling us that's kind of the nature of the beast. That's what guys do?
They do. It's just how far do they go with it? There was the scrum before the Denver game. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see if there's chippiness before this game. Because with Denver, I really didn't. I guess there is a rivalry because of Super Bowl 32. But, this is Packers-Bears.
I don't know how many people on either team are familiar with Super Bowl 32. I'm sorry, pal.
Fair enough. But I'll be interested to see if this does carry over. Because once the game started, everything's usually out the window.
The one thing both teams have to be careful, though, this is a flag-happy crew. The crew that they have assigned for this game is a flag-happy crew.
Yeah.
So I think if anything does get chippy, like I think you're going to be walking a pretty tightrope of you don't want to hurt your team with a 15-yard penalty because those seem to hurt more and sting more when you hit in the postseason when everything is just magnified and that much more important.
Excellent point by you, and that's why teams are always finding out. Players, always want to know who the officiating crews are because they certainly have tendencies as well. Do they let them play? Do they call it close? That's something that guys, the information that they want to have. The only flaw I have with what the Bears said, guys, is though they didn't do something at the moment. Oh, why didn't they do something in the moment? Like in the moment, you don't know. With a hit like that and concussion protocol and a head injury, you don't know the lasting effects. And I'm not talking 30 years down the road here. I'm talking about in the moment, you didn't know that interaction was going to keep Jordan Love out of the next few games. It sort of grew in significance as the weeks went on. So to sit here and be like, well, you didn't do anything at the moment, it's like, right, but at the moment, we didn't know that it was going to keep our quarterback out for the next few weeks, that we wouldn't get him back until this game.
But this specifically also feels like it's just going to lead to nothing. I feel like Josh's comments, again, he said they're not going to play dirty or anything, but if the Bears do something like that again, if they go high on Jordan Love or go low, if there's a personal foul penalty against their guy, to me, that's Josh is also talking about, hey, we're going to make sure we have his back.
Yeah.
Because Jason talked about how it stood out to him being in the stadium that like nobody did anything. We brought up earlier this week, Sitton and Lang, how they would have been in somebody's grill. Frankie, if that happened to Brett Chew, Frankie would have been in somebody's grill had that happened to Brett. And I look at Josh Jacobs as more of an internal thing of, hey, we're going to make sure if you do that again, we're going to make sure we've got our guys back. Last time we made a mistake, and we're going to atone for that mistake this time.
I just don't know if Josh Jacobs is wired that way. Right? When you look at Josh Jacobs and sort of the way he carries himself, Josh Jacobs, he doesn't seem a hothead in any situation. So, and I'm not saying you have to be a hothead in order to defend one of your teammates when they get a hit on the field, but there obviously is an understanding that hits are going to occur. You can't be reacting violently or, go flying off the handle every time a guy gets hit if you're not sure of the intent. And it sounds like the Bears players are saying that they weren't doing it intentionally. They weren't trying to knock him out of the game, which, of course, is what you would say if a microphone were put in front of you.
Can you imagine if you admitted, I was trying to take him out, launch myself into his head?
The point that you make is great, which is, okay, you can have all of these swirling narratives headed into the game, but if you start letting it affect your play, and you start playing outside of yourself, or you start trying to play with that proverbial chip on your shoulder and it starts to affect you negatively, then you've lost, right? Then the mental chess match that's been going on with these comments, you've lost it.
Well, intimidation is part of the game, and right now they just seem to be volleying back and forth. Because your older guys, especially with a young team, I mean, we would go to Minnesota, and we all know the stories of John Randall trying to get into Marcos, who are rookies or first-year guys, rookies or first-year guys. Because, like I said, intimidation is part of the game. It's the responsibility of and I used to fight with Randall all the time, tell him to shut up, but some of his stuff was actually kind of funny. Because he would read other guys' bios, and then talk about their sister and stuff like that. And that, that part of it was funny. But when they just flat out try to intimidate, that's when the older guys got to step in. So right now they're just volleying, I think, for intimidation. Like, we're not going to take it. Okay, we're not going to take it. Well, we're not going to, So it's part of the game.
800-990-3776. Let us know your reaction to what the Bears said in reaction to Josh Jacobs' comments about the hit on Jordan Love the last time the Bears played them and them taking it personally. Joshy asks a good question. Do we need this stuff? Like, we all talk about how great it is that the rivalry is back and these two teams are both significant/relevant. Do you need this sort of like extra chatter to like sprinkle on top? Does it make it even more intriguing as you're headed into a big game?
If it was good chatter.
This isn't good chatter?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
this isn't any. This hasn't added any juice to the game for me, has it? Like what about what Josh Jacobs said yesterday, or the Bears' response? What, if anything, has given you extra juice for tomorrow's game?
Nothing.
No, but I will be paying more attention to those interactions, right?
Sure.
Whether it's after the whistle, whether it's between plays, I will be watching to see, because you can tell as a viewer when things are ratcheting up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you have that feel for the
you
game.
You can
Absolutely.
see when things, and you're going,
They're
oh,
getting a
this
little chippy.
is a powder keg. It's about to pop. Let's see how it all shakes out. And to your point, you cannot let it affect you negatively to the point of a penalty, to the point of an ejection or anything like that, because that just hurts the squad.
But the problem with a crew like this, Jen, because we had the same Jerry Mark Bright back in the day when we had him, we're like, geez, I'm crow. Now I got to bring my right hand in when it comes to blocking, or they're going to, I just hope the refs realize that we're not there to watch them, so let them play. So if there is a little chippiness, address it before the game. Tell them, but don't get flag happy because it takes away from the game.
All right, listen, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We got Craig Carmason coming up on the show right after this. Stick around. Bears-Packers week. Is there anything better?
Boost culture with captivating corporate events like appreciation parties, brand activations, and more with our friends at Events by Design. The creative team at Events by Design, they truly enjoy the work they do, believing every event should not just be successful, but fun, one that people still talk about years later. There's a chance that you've been to an Events by Design event, or at least an event that they have helped prop up, and you don't even know it. Maybe you've gone to the night market here in downtown Milwaukee. Maybe you went to the holiday market they had outside of Fiserv Forum back in November. Those are all things that Events by Design help do. And if you're looking at a big anniversary party for your company, or if you're just looking to have something fun to build that culture, Events by Design is who you should be reaching out to. Just search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Things starting to look a little bit better out there. Westbound 94, we got our usual backups from 30th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's tightening up from just before 76th Street to Hawley Road. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes. Westbound on 894 heading right past 60th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance of rain-snow mix, becoming mostly sunny, falling temperatures with a high of 42. Tonight, increasing clouds, early morning rain and snow mix with a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year Savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush-mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out.
And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Carmason.
Has any market been as consistent where they only have one team than Wisconsin? We know Chicago hasn't been.
No. Fridays with Mo.
Yeah, but until you win a championship, you can't really say that. And they've had one champion.
Chewy, we're going to just create an AI. The AI Chewy can just bring up championship. We don't even need Chewy.
They've had one championship.
What, it's going to be put like a hologram over there?
Yeah. Craig Carmason on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Saturn Lounge, your partner for marketing strategy, creative content, and winning campaigns. From websites to video and everything marketing, visit SaturnLounge.com to tell the world your story.
This feels like an episode of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
No, he's just scared.
Did you guys play that when you were kids? Or maybe it was. We had a game. There was a game on the computers. You know, big floppy disk.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a show as well. But
with a banging open. The song, the Carmen Sandiego song, is so good.
Incredible. I wish I could remember it. It's hard with the Meghan Trainor, or no, not Meghan Trainor. What's the song that's playing right now? Rebecca Black. Friday.
Okay, yeah.
It's hard for me to find the tune of the Carmen Sandiego song. Where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego?
Right. Well, she's something around the world from New York to Carolina, and that's all I remember.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought maybe I was going to be able to riff it there. Where in the world is Craig?
Big time.
Yeah, he's
this
scared.
is his MO.
Scared of what?
He's
Wait,
scared.
I'm not here on Fridays, so you guys got to fill me in. Like, this is standard operating procedure?
Yeah. Well, sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not, sometimes he's on a plane. But I think he's just kind of ducking because he always makes it clear that he is fans of the teams that Good Cover Brands does business with.
That's right.
ESPN 1000
Yeah,
is the home of the Chicago Bears. I think he's ducking us.
Good call.
Yeah, well, all right. I guess we pivot then, huh? What do you guys usually do in this situation when he doesn't show up?
Yeah, I mean,
Go home.
You do,
are
yeah.
home.
That's an excellent point. So you move from that room of your house to the other room of your house.
What are we talking about? Go home.
Chewy, are you going to do anything fun for the game tonight?
Yeah, I got a rager going.
Seriously? You got some people coming over? Are you guys going to a bar? What do you got?
Packers and barbecue here.
Ooh, what are you gonna throw on the grill?
Wait, you're talking about tomorrow night or tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Okay, I was talking about tonight, but that works.
Wait, what do you mean you're not coming?
Oh, tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight, once a month, we do bourbon hour. So I have hosting 5 o'clock bourbon with the boys.
Wait, how are we just hearing about this now? Were you guys aware that Chewy does bourbon
I've never told you that?
No.
I got to be honest. If you told me that you were deviating from your white wine, I would have remembered.
Yeah, once a month. I probably do probably 4 out of the 5.
4 out of the 5
Just
what?
because of the
Bourbons?
hosts. Everyone loves coming here, you know?
Oh, thank you. You host 4 out of the 5 events.
I host
Okay.
4 out of the 5 times, which is great. I think because my guys are great down here. Typically, you know, every 5th time someone will bring a new bourbon. So I think we're up to 28 different bourbons here.
Yeesh.
And it's just, we hold court. No women are invited for 1 hour. It's 5 to 6, and then the women can come over after that, and then we pretty much solve all the world's problems.
Then why the hell do we
do
have
a
so
hell
many
of a job.
problems still? What's going on? You guys got to pick it up. I bet I know what it is. I bet you're not having any of the bourbon. I bet you're skipping out on the bourbon and having your wine instead.
So I've got a Buffalo fan. I got a New England fan. I've got a Packer fan. I got another, myself, obviously a Packer fan. I got, do I have a Chicago fan? I don't think so.
Can't imagine you'd let a Chicago fan on the premises.
No, they're fun to beat up on just because they're so delusional. But I will say this. We have another place we like to go to on Sundays and watch the games. Bears fans down here, hands down, are the most annoying. It's not even close. They scream and yell from the standpoint they want everyone to know they're there. And they want everyone to know they're from Chicago. And you get a lot of Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Packer fans who just look at them and like, do you guys understand what doofuses you are? And they have no idea. And I don't think they care. So that's my Nichols sense.
Craig, are
Greg's
you
in
surprised
studio?
to learn? Craig just got here, yes. Are you surprised to learn that once a month Chewy does a bourbon night with the boys?
Yes.
Right?
He's allowed to do that?
Well, for an hour. He gets 1 hour each
A
month.
bourbon hour with the boys.
It literally is 5 to 6. And then
Yeah.
the women can come.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way,
And then they
the
take
women
over, yeah.
definitely decided that, by the way. They were like, you get 1 hour.
That seems
okay?
on brand. Yeah. Yeah.
But-
I'm not surprised now that I've learned about
But
it.
bourbon, that's a little surprising. Our guy's more of a white wine kind of fellow.
Yeah, he's. You're saying he's got a little hair on his chest. You know, there you go.
That's good,
though.
Well,
yeah.
A little more, maybe a little
Chewy's
more.
always had hair on
picture.
his chest.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I had one done here. Hold on. She's
Wait,
gonna
you had a
kill me, but
glamour
I
shot?
really
You
don't
went
care.
to JC Penney's? You went to
Oh,
JC
look,
No.
Penney's?
He's reaching for it.
So
He's
for
reaching
that
for
one,
it.
I had this one made.
Just so you know, you're definitely not allowed to show that photograph on the YouTube stream. Chew.
Wait.
If you're not allowed to tell the suit story, which we learned earlier this morning, Chewy's not allowed to tell the suit story.
Yeah.
You're definitely not allowed to show that picture.
She's the one that got it for me.
But did she know that you were going to show it on the YouTube
No.
stream of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy?
That's fine.
I'd like to distance myself from anything that just took place.
Wait, you saw it also?
Yes, I did.
Oh, it's right. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't see it because you're over there. You didn't see it.
Is he dressed as a sailor?
I'm not going to describe what it was. Joshy, you're not going to describe what it was. So there are people feverishly
Okay,
now
somebody has to-
scrolling
okay,
back
look.
on the YouTube
Wait, but
stream.
aren't people, if you could see it, aren't people going to be able to see it on the YouTube?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But this is still mostly an audio.
Yeah, but it was
medium.
very quick.
Somebody has to describe what happened. It's either you or Josh because you're the
not
ones who
if,
saw it.
Not if Jen thinks it's inappropriate, she should describe it.
I don't
think
think
that's
that-
what
It's not
on YouTube.
I don't think it's inappropriate. I think she knows how much Chewy's wife hates that we have this one picture of him shirtless. I think she's aware
No,
that
that's not
the
it
wife-
at all. Okay, I am aware that Angie doesn't like us having
Yeah.
this picture. That's funny. But Chewy just showed a picture of his wife that he had commissioned, I think, if I'm following
it's
correctly.
a picture of her, not of him.
Yeah.
Ah.
Right, Chew?
What's wrong with that? I think it's great.
I think we all think it's great. I think
All
we
my
also
guys
know,
have seen
we
it,
also
like-
know the only thing that matters is what Angie thinks.
Yeah. And we're going to find out.
1,000,000% we are. Craig is joining us in studio now. All right, Craig, enormous game this weekend. Packers, Bears. We've been talking about the conversations that have been taking place. Were you surprised?
Wait. First, real quick.
Yeah.
I know I'm pass interference.
No.
No.
So, was there pass interference? Yes, there was pass interference. And I don't like that the rules are different for the last play of the game versus every other play. If
I'm
every
totally
play
with
matters,
you.
if every play matters and gets you to that point, I don't think you can call it differently. But Bill LeMonnier said 99% of the time you have to be dragging a guy to the ground, basically. I'm paraphrasing, in order to get a pass interference call on a Hail Mary.
It's just not fair, though. I don't, Chewy. Why are you saying no? Especially as a receiver, especially as a big guy who would be down there. Why, on the last play, should they be able to just like grab you the whole time if they can't the rest of the game?
You know why I don't, Craig? Because of basketball. I don't want a basketball at the end of the game to be determined by foul shots. And I go back, I think it was Auburn. Craig, you remember the Auburn game where they called that one late, like last seconds of the game in the Final Four? Do you remember?
Yeah, the Auburn. It was Auburn against Virginia, and they called.
But the call.
They called the foul on the three-point shot in the corner at the end of the game, and Virginia went to the championship, and Auburn didn't because of it.
But the call, Craig, was the defender not giving him space to come down after the shot. It wasn't even a hit on the arm, I believe, right? That's just weak to me, not to determine the outcome, especially of the Final Four.
But I don't, like, we've seen so many last-second amazing catches, and these days receivers make catches that we've never seen before. The idea, and it's not like a spot penalty like the NFL, so it's not like you even bring them to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how that's not 15 yards there. Like, everyone sees it, and the ref's right there. It does, and then the ESPN refs, back it up. I don't understand.
Because, again, in any other play in the game, you're going somewhere else. If a guy's blanketed like that, you're going to throw it to a different receiver. Like, in this, you're just desperate, and you're just heaving it down there, hoping for a penalty.
But you don't think it was a penalty?
No, I mean, was it? Yeah, but I think we've all kind of agreed that in football, on the Hail Mary, unless you get tackled, that's basically how Hail Marys work.
That's dumb. That's one of those. There's a lot of things we all agreed on that have changed. Like, we all agree on fourth down, you punt. Right? And then at some point, gym teachers aren't, and no offense to gym teachers, aren't the only ones coaching, and there's more analytics and more things involved. At some point, referees get involved, and there should be more intelligence with this.
Let me ask you a question. If Ole Miss had another shot at it, do you think they score and go on to win?
Yes.
No.
Do you see how quickly they moved down and how good that quarterback
I know, but they had one
Shambles
play.
had been so good in the game. Every one of his throws was on the money.
It'd have been one play from the 30,
play from
and
the
you have to
30.
get to the end zone.
Yeah.
No, they'd be at the 18. They were at the 35 on that play, right?
It doesn't matter. It's still it's not like you can run your normal play. They're going to have 5 guys standing in the end zone to kind of knock anything down out of the air. It's
and they would
basically
pass interfered again, probably.
It's just a Hail Mary from the
and
18.
I'm not saying they would have or would have. Who knows? But they deserved another play. That's my point.
What did you think of the targeting, Craig?
Which one?
The one where the Miami player got ejected for half of the next game or whatever it is.
So the one in the second half of the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I just dislike targeting, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because too often the target changes.
Yeah, I've never played, Chewy, so I can't Jen, when you're saying that, I don't know, because there's times where I feel like there's intent. I don't think there was intent. And that's why, for me, it's so hard to know, what is controllable when you're playing football at that speed. And I have no idea. That's why I'm pausing to the level I am.
I mean, I just
really
think you
have no
think about a moving train, right? How long does it take a moving train to stop?
Yeah.
A bit. So it's expecting these players to be able to change
and by the way,
their
I'm not trying to take away from Packers Bears. It was just so fun because I feel like all those games always suck. And last night's was so good. For some reason, the CFP, there have been so many blowouts in those games. So it was just so cool to have a big game. All right, but back to Packers
hold on.
Bears.
Before we move on, because I was talking to the guys about tonight's game, Indiana-Oregon, I think this has the chance to be a knockdown, drag-out, absolute, another fantastic game. You've got two of the best quarterbacks in college football going head-to-head. They're going to be wanting to put on a show.
I would have said that too, but I couldn't believe what they did to Alabama. What Indiana did.
I know.
So, and Oregon's better, way better, right?
You're talking about defense now.
I'm talking about blowing them out of the building. I'm saying, I think, are we still underrating Indiana because of the names on their jersey, and are they actually better? Are they a touchdown better than Oregon and not 3.5 points better?
Maybe, but Dante Moore's really good, too.
Yeah.
So is Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Who's going to the NFL draft?
You think it's going to be a blowout?
No. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I want it to be another good game, but I thought Indiana and Alabama was going to be a good game, and it was not. So that's why I just don't know. Chewy, have you watched Indiana?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Do you think they're legit?
They're for sure.
I think they're legit, but I'm almost leaning Oregon here just because they got embarrassed at home. They got beaten pretty bad. I don't think the gap is that big. I think Indiana's bigger, but I don't think the gap is huge. I'm almost leaning – I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm almost leaning Oregon.
I think weather was also a factor the last time these two teams played. It certainly will not be a factor indoors at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The other thing I will say is this. I love the conversations that these coaches have been having in the media this week, right? It's compliment city. Nobody is giving an ounce of bulletin board material because you know what? Dan Lanning will take even a peck, even a scrap, even a morsel of a comment and will turn it into a full-blown raging forest fire.
Jen, you're around them all and chewing. Are these the two best NFL potential coaches in college? If you were saying guys who culturally have proven they can build a program in a cultural way that could translate. I know it's very rare that it translates from college to the NFL, but could these be the two best that are playing against each other? No?
No.
Who you got? Or you think nobody can?
I don't think nobody can. If Nick Saban can't, nobody can.
Yeah.
Like, if you hire one of these guys, you're an NFL team, you're going to be disappointed.
And you're saying Jim Harbaugh doesn't count.
Jim Harbaugh doesn't count because he was in the NFL first.
Yep.
Same thing with...
well, he was at Stanford first.
But he was an NFL guy, so he got the NFL more. He spent time in the NFL. Same thing with Pete Carroll. Right? Pete Carroll was in the NFL, went to college, came back, and had success.
I also think, having covered both leagues, culture doesn't matter as much at the NFL level as it does in college. 100%.
You don't think Ben Johnson thinks culture matters?
I'm sure that Ben Johnson does think culture matters, but I'm saying it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest thing about college is you're taking 17, 18, 19. I don't have time to get all the way up to 26, but now at this point with the COVID rules, you got people playing, up to that. But like,
there's some college teams older than the
basically
Packers.
molding that clay. Right? When you get to the league, you're almost fully baked. Are you going to get better? Of course. Is there progress to be made? Yes. But from what type of player are you going to be? What's your work ethic? What's your buy-in like?
Chewy played for Tom Coughlin, right? Chewy, wouldn't you have said Coughlin's the ultimate college guy who couldn't translate to the NFL?
And then he did.
Then he won Super
but he
Bowls.
did because he pivoted. He went, Willie Joe hard guy, and then he softened it up. Signetti's kind of that same guy. Like, his shtick now at Indiana would not work in the NFL. No one's going to listen to him. Hard guy,
his thing is, I don't let up. If we're up 53-3 in the fourth quarter, I'm still mad about the 3 points.
Is that kind of Dan Campbell-ish? And that's worked. I mean, I know he didn't win a Super Bowl, but Dan Campbell
smiles a lot more than Kurt Signetti does.
Yeah, he transformed a culture. No?
Yeah, but I don't think he transformed the culture the way that Signetti did. I think, again, it's just so different. And... NFL teams are starting to realize it's significantly different, and you're just wasting your time dipping into the college pool.
Wow. So you think you don't think it's football? You think it's like a totally different game, totally different, like what works one place doesn't work the other?
Uh-huh. Because otherwise, why wouldn't Nick Saban be overwhelmingly successful in the NFL?
Yeah, in college you're dealing with 6 egos. In the NFL you're dinging with 53.
Yeah. I mean, my argument on Saban would be maybe he would have been if he had stuck with it and had the time to truly build a program.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Like, which he never did.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. Craig, stick around. I want to get your take on this weekend as well. And Joshy is violently shaking his head. No,
we're
you
out of
cannot
time.
stick
I
around.
think
The show is over. So are we saying goodbye, Joshy?
Time.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN